Hello guys, welcome to Tech Lab. Um, Tech Lab is a YouTube channel that I will be using to tutor .NET developers on how to develop different real life projects. So the first project we'll be starting with is a school enterprise resource planning software, which we are going to be building with C Sharp. So the project is going to be very vast. So it has three modules. It has the admin modules, the teacher modules, and the parent modules. So the admin module is going to be able to set up the fee structure, section, classes, and class type. We have classes, we have class type, register students, collect fee from students, register staff, payroll, assign class to teachers, assign subject to teachers, and send mails. We'll probably add some other stuff as we go deeper into the tutorial. Then the teacher modules is going to be able to mark attendance, assign score to students, assign position to students. Parent modules is just register complaints of the award and make payments. So the tools we'll be using for this project is Visual Studio 2013 or higher, then ASP.NET MVC 5, C Sharp. We'll be using Microsoft SQL. We'll be using entity frameworks and stuff. So we'll be using stored procedures only. We'll be using stored procedures for our projects. So we have different tables for this project. We have the section table, the fee type, we have the fee structure, fee ID, level ID, fee type, amount, class type, subject, designation, assign class, assign subject, role. We have a lot of tables. We still have more tables I haven't added yet to the file, but as we go on into the project, we'll add those to the project. So let's switch over to SQL Server. There's our database. I have this here already, but I'm going to delete it for the sake of I want to start all over again. I've done this before, so I have to start all over again. So I'm going to create a new database with the same name. Yeah, school management software. So let me rename this because it's not just School ERP Software. So the first table we are going to work with, we work with the tables gradually. We work with the section table. Let's create section table. So we have section ID. We have int section, leave it as ID. That type is int. And section then we have it's active, which is going to be worker. So this is our first table, the section table. Call it section TBL. So let's go to let's switch over to our Visual Studio. So yeah, this I created the project already. So this is the project I just created. School ERP. I haven't done anything. So if you don't know how to create a project, you click on new project, you write the name of your project, give your project a name, click OK. Then you come and assign templates. We are using MVC 5, so we are using MVC. So you click on MVC and empty project. So that is that for now. So I'm canceling this. Already have something I'm working on. I have to go back and open it. School ERP. So this is it. Okay, so let's add our template to the project. We're adding our templates to the project. So this is the template I'm going to be using. Matrix admin. I'm going to drop the link for this template at the bottom of the channel of the video, so you can download it. So we'll be using this template. We are using this template for our project. It's a good template. It has so many functions we can use throughout our development. So let's go and use this, guys. It's scattered. Why is it scattered? Okay guys, so I'll be opening this with my other Visual Studio. I'm going to open it with Visual Studio 212. I'm working with 2015 actually, but I just want to use this 2012 to get the details I need from the template file, so I can copy it to our project. So this is the HTML document of the template file. Okay, first of all, let us copy these two documents, the asset and the other file, because most of the tools and most of the designs that are going to be used in our templates already came from this folder, so we need to copy it to our project. Copy. Let's paste it here. Okay guys, I already have these files, I already have them here, so there's no need for me to copy. But for you guys, you need to do the same thing. You need to copy it to your project. Make sure you copy it to your project, or else your HTML file wouldn't work, your design wouldn't load. So make sure you do that. I'm going to cancel this because I already have it. So I have them already here, this and this. So I have them. Let me make sure the files inside the folders are included. I have to include this. I also have to include this. So that is it. This for assets, this for image, results. So we'll be linking them up while we copy our HTML documents into this project. So let's go to our views and create a layout. Let's create a layout view. Let's create a folder. Let's first of all create a folder under views. we have a folder, we call it shared folder. That's our master page, folder for each of the modules. So the first layout page we are creating is going to be for the admin. We are creating a page for the admin first. So yes, this is our page for the admin. Now we'll come back to this and we'll copy all of this. We'll copy all this to copying all this together. Yeah, so copy, we're taking it here, then we'll paste. So we've copied the HTML file for the index page of our intended dashboard we are using to our Visual Studio, our project master page rather. So what do we do after this? Right now we have to edit some stuff so that our master page can have a good view. So I'm going to remove some stuff we don't need. Okay, is it? Container fluid. We have this is the dashboard. This is this, and this is okay. So this is, we need to remove this. This is our content page. So this is where all our content for this will be, for this project will be designed in. So we just remove this, we leave the footer. You can name the footer, you can decide to change the footer to let me just I'll put my portfolio name here, great technology, all rights reserved by Matrix admin, designed and developed by. So I'll change this great technology. So if that's your choice, if you want to do that, or just so then you have to put your render body. This is where all your contents you'll be working with inside these templates will be posted. So this is like the master page. So we are going to have all our content is posted inside here. So just remember this, guys. So let's switch back to okay, let's create our controllers. So inside our controllers, we are going to create a controller for the admin. We have to create a folder, for the admin. We are creating a folder first for the admin. So this is the folder for the admin. We are creating a folder for him first. So since we are working on the admin dashboard first, now we are going to create a controller inside the admin dashboard, calling this dashboard. So let's call it settings, because we are going to work on the settings of the whole application first. So we're calling this settings. So this is settings controller. So let's go back to our admin HTML master page. So now we have to do some editing to our CSS files that we have linked into our layout. So you can see we have all these CSS files here. These CSS files are coming from our folder, the folder of our dashboard, the asset and dist folder, so we have to make sure we correctly map them. If not, our design wouldn't work properly. So let me just it's very tricky. So we are going to assets. So actually all we need is just this. Just need this to do a proper mapping. We need that sign in front of our, so I'm pasting it here, paste it here, also paste it here. So let's come down, paste it everywhere you see any source that has a linkage to those folder. Paste it here, sorry, also paste it here. Remember I pasted one here, also paste another here. Go down carefully so that you don't miss any. Okay, so you have to make sure you paste all. Paste them here, also paste, 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 paste here, paste here. So this is it, guys. We've properly mapped and linked those folders to this master page document. So let's save this and let's close it. So let's come to our settings controller. So we are going to work on this section first of all. So we are going to name this section. So this is going to be section. I'll come back and work on that. So that's for section. So let's come to our model and write a model for, I'll create a class for our section. So we're going to give two folders also under our model. We're going to make two folders under our model folders. So we're creating a folder for admin. Then we'll create a class under it. This class is section class. So we have just four columns. It's going to be a primary key. Yes, so save it. So this is a primary key. We're trying to create class for section. So this public int section ID. Yes, I'm creating a class for section right now. Then public string, this is going to be string, section itself, get, and public, okay, sorry, we can't have an object, we can't have this having the same name with the name of the class. You can't have the object having the same name of the class. So that's why you're having error. Members of the class cannot have the same name of the class. So we are going to name this section name public. Then we also have what other value do we have? Term, string, term. get set and public string also is active. So we have this get set. So that's it. We've successfully created this class. Now let's link our database to this project. So you come to your SQL server, refresh this, then add a connection. So let me drop the name of my. I'm going to drop the name of my. So I'm going to pick the database. Database is School ERP Software. So I'm picking it. Test connection again. It's properly working. Okay. So we have that here. This is what we're looking for actually. And we have that here already. So now we have to create another class where we'll be able to call our database, our data connection. We have to create a class for our data connection. So we are going to create a folder. Let's create a config folder where we'll store I already have one created. Let me just delete this and rename this config. So this is where we'll create a class to store our connection, our database connection. So we're going to call this store connection class. So guys, these procedures are very simple. If you have any question, just make sure you outline it in your comments, but make sure you follow this video properly. Do not fast forward, do not be in a haste. It's actually going to be very productive because we're going to do a lot. Then please try your best to subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be dropping a lot of videos. After this, I'm going to be dropping a project on hospital ERP system. So we are going to also design a full software for an hospital system, which is going to have a lot of functionalities. So this is just going to be my first project. I'm still going to design a travel and logistic project with the .NET framework. So please make sure you subscribe because I'm going to bring out a lot of projects with this channel. Thank you. So let's go to our web config file and store and create a connection string for our database, for our SQL database. So this is our web config file. Yeah, this is it. We don't have any connection yet, so we have to create a connection string. Perfect place we can create our connection. So let's create it here. No, can't create it in the middle of this. Let's create it after this. Connection strings. So we are going to add our database to our config file and the connection string itself, and we also have to create a provider name. The provider name is going to be SQL. So SQL clients, because the database is an SQL database, so we are trying to make the compiler understand that this database is coming from SQL. So we're going to give the name as School ERP System. You can give it whatever name you want, but our connection string has to be unique. We have to go back to our database. You see, this is the database we just added. So you pick the connection string from here. This is the connection string. You pick it from here, you copy it, and you paste it here. So this is our connection string. Make sure you copy everything. Make sure it's correct, guys, so that you won't have any error when you are trying to do your business operations on your data, when you are trying to handle your data. So that's done. Let's write a provider name. Our provider name is system.data SQL client. So these are provider name. This has to be your provider name also. It's unique. This a standard provider name for SQL database. So we already done this. So let's save this. Now copy this. This is the name of your connection string. Copy it. That is the name of your database connection string. This is the name. This is the connection string, but this is the name you've given to it. So you come back to your Solution Explorer and go back to your config file. This is your config file. So we are going to store it here using system.configuration. Using system.configuration. Yeah. So we're going to create a class, public static string get connection. So this is used to get connections. Now return So this was the use of configuration manager. Most of the times when you are coding, it's better you highlight your code so that you can get the meaning of the code you are using, so that anytime you have a similar problem. Now, configuration manager, this is it provides access to configuration files for client application. So you can use this when you want to make your program get access to a particular file. It doesn't have to be this type of file, but this is what we use configuration manager because this is what we use configuration manager for, because we want to make our program be able to access our SQL string, our SQL file, our SQL database easily. So we won't have to be calling it again, we won't have to be writing it in every form. We'll just be inheriting it from this class we are creating. So that's another reason why you should understand OOP, the basic of OOP, before you start designing projects, so that you'll be able to use all this understanding very well. So moving forward, dot connection string. So what's the name of, okay, I think we copied it. So you copy this. So you drop the name of your connection string here. This is the name of our connection string. We are dropping it here. Paste. Then dot connection string. Oh, sorry. What's this? Sorry. Let's create this. connection string. So there we have it. We have our connection string for our page. So we can easily call our connection string when you are trying to insert, create, delete, and update and perform different other complex operations. Let's save this. Can close this. Let's close this also. So let's call let's reference them here using system. Let's configuration and using School ERP .config, then also using School ERP model.admin, because we are working with the admin model first of all. So what's the first thing we have to create? We have to create a table. We have to create a table for our section so that we can see the available sections we have. So how are we going to create a table for our section? So I told you we'll be using store procedures for our operations. So let's go back to our database. Now working hand in hand with our database. So let's go back to our database. We only have one table created. As we go deep into the software, we'll have more tables created. So let's write a store procedure. So create procedure get section as begin select star from get section. Sorry, the name of the table is not get section. The name of the table is section table. Then end it. Make sure you end it. You know this. You can test your query. You can see it is working. So let's create our procedure. So we've created our procedure. Let's confirm if it's stored in. You can see we have it here. The name of the procedure is get section. So let's come back to our database, our Visual Studio, our project, so that we can create a list. So we have to create write a list, because we are trying to make a list. Sorry, that list section. Let's do new list. I'm trying to list out the entities we have under the columns of all the columns we have in the data in the table. So I'm using list. So now using SQL connection. Okay, we've not made a reference to our SQL system.sql system.data.sql client, and using system.data, because we also be making tables. So you have to reference this. Make sure you reference all these four references are very important. We will use it across our projects. So using SQL connection request to new SQL connection. So now we are going to call our store connection. We are going to call this file the class where we stored our connection. So we are going to call it, this is how we call it. It's actually referenced, so it will show. It has to show because we've referenced it here. So this store connection dot get connection, and this is it. So you see we've actually done that. Then open this in a bracket, then using SQL command cmd equals to new SQL command. So we're going to call our store procedure here. What's the name of our, we named it as get section. So you copy it, we'll come back to our project. Come back here and you paste it, so you don't have to start writing the whole raw statement here anymore. Actually, when we start going forward, I'll also use link to entity framework, but for now let's just use this. We also use this for different applications, because once you start writing complex coding, once you start having issues once you start having problems that are very complex, you still have to fall back to most of the times we still have to fall back to our basic SQL queries we write in our programs, in our applications. So we use hybrid models. So just understand that you can use different models of handling data in your applications. So command type. So this command type, you have to reference it that the command type is actually a store procedure before moving forward. So command type store procedure. So we know we're actually trying to call the store procedure. So if state. So if our connection is not open, so system plus data. So if our connection is closed, we want it to be opened. That's just the so that's it. We have it already. So SQL. Now we're going to have to use a SQL data reader. SQL data reader. SDR. That executes reader. Table. I'm going to give our data DT sections. Let's see, new table. So DT sections. Upload SDR. I'm going to advise you is when you're coding, when you're learning how to code through projects like this, make sure you also open your mind to different kind of projects and how you can apply these concepts to them, because most of the time the concept of coding is always constant. It's just the data that is dynamic, because the data that are involved in a school system is different from the data that are involved in a hospital system. So just make sure you have an idea of how to handle data, so that you can know how to handle data, any kind of data. So that's it. So we're going to call um, section add and create loops. Section. So section. Yes, then I'm going to have this open. So I'm going to give those are our first section name. The section ID is it has automatic increment. So to string, then we have 10 equals to string. Sorry. Then is active and to row, so to string. So we have it like this. So this is not supposed to be. So we are done. So what we just have to do is to find the correct name of all this in the database. So let's come here. Our table. No, not this. So this is section. This is 10. This is active. So now let's create a list view for this. So we have to return this. We're returning this list. So we're copying this. This is what we want to return in our view. Paste. So this actual result is actually returning this. So we're going to add a list view. Then make sure you use the layout, the layout page. We're going to be using this layout page. Using the admin layout page. Then the model class we are using is section model class. So let's add So we have this list already. So let's just run it and see if we have a correct output. So just stay on this page and run your program. Okay, you can see we have our list table here. This is the table. Well, we have to make some design. I just wanted to be sure it's working though. So it's working, it's actually working, so you don't have any issue with it. So let's come back to our page and do some designs which we'll be using for all our pages. So I don't need this. So remember, we have this is going to be our inner content from our admin layout document. So there's something else. Okay, so this is going to go away. We're going to have this, just have a render body here. Sorry, just make that. We're going to have a render body here. That's all. So our render body is going to be here. So that's all. So let's come back to our section HTML and give it a proper design. So we have this div class page wrapper. So inside the page wrapper, we're going to have, take note of this, because the next in some of the forms I'm just going to be copying. In all the forms I'm just going to be copying and pasting this. I won't write this out again. So just know how I implement them in each of the pages. So it's just give our page a very good view. to this section. Actually, section is a page for section. H4 using H4 for it. Div class into text right. From so this guy, so I was having issues earlier. So item active. The page section. So we just designed the header, so take note of that, and let's design the container for our table. Container field, container field. Classroom. So you have to create a class, current the class files okay. Let's quickly go to Google and get the reference, the CDN reference for CDN for font awesome 5, so I can include it in our project. You get, if you're familiar with font awesome, you should understand what I mean. I want to get CDN for font awesome 5. Link, there's always a link to get it. This is the perfect place to get. So we are using all this. Let's take, this is what you should use. This is the exact one you should use. Don't use any of this images, just this. So copy link tag and come back to your project and go to your admin file and just paste it under, just at the bottom here. Okay, so you have it, it's included in your project, so that any icon you call, it will have a meaning. So I'm trying to look for calendar. It's awesome. I have internet connection. Okay, it's connected. Now I want font awesome 5 calendar. Okay, so this is it copied. Come back here, just delete this, paste it in between this. So this way you need to paste it. Yeah, so then we have to make a space, new section. All this, as we go on, we just be copying and paste it. We just be using it to give our page a proper view alongside the sidebar of the page. So now let's put this into the body. Let's copy this. First of all, let's create a div class row. There's the card body. Card body. That layout already, and let's copy this, continue to paste it inside here, pasting this here first. So I want to give our button a good design. But this design, we are going to use it throughout our page. So let me just give it, let me just do it now since we're using it continuously. Div class row, div class goes to form group. Href. So it's always going to reference a particular action. Right now we don't have any action for it, so we just leave it there because we've not created the create form yet. It's btn, it's going to be btn dark. That's btn dark. And it's going to have class fast far plus square span of strong create. So this for create. This is for create. We have our create thing here, our create button here. So now let's copy this table. Has to be enclosed inside the whole design, so it's supposed to be here. Yeah, this is supposed to be here, so we won't have mistakes. So let's just copy this, cut and pasted this here, and so give it table bordered, let's see it. Head, give it head class. We don't have head class, so we create a head. Head dark, then you cut this, and drop it here. So let's run our project again and see what we have. Okay, that didn't come out as expected. Hold on. So this is supposed to be M1M and container fluid. Okay, I understand why. This has to be, everything has to be inside the container fluid tag. So I'm pasting this here, and I'm also copying this cut and I'm pasting it, paste here also. So the container fluid is taking everything, the heading, the button, and also the table. So this is it, guys. Let's run our project again. Okay, so we have this is what I wanted us to have. So we have this as create button, sectioning, term, and it's active. So before we round up this video, we just have to do some little bit of editing so that once we start the next video, we'll have proper view of everything. So let's come back to our table. Let's stop debugging. Let's come back to our table. Let's change our display name. This is going to be section. This is going to be 10. This is going to be call this active status. So I'm sure you guys already understand this. So we have to change this menu we have here to fit our view. We are not using some of this, so we have to change it. So let's go to admin layout. We go to admin layout, we do some changes to what we have here. I'm sure this is menu, this is dashboard, chart. We don't need all this. I'm taking this down. We don't need this. We will later create our dashboard. We have to create a dashboard. Our dashboard will have tables and some general overview about the whole application. So we will leave this here. We'll leave this dashboard here. So like I said, the program, the tutorial is very vast. So we are going to be creating a lot of stuff under it. This dashboard. So what we need after our dashboard, we need to create this also. So I'm going to edit this. This is going to be settings. I'm going to call this settings. So we are working on the settings part of this application. to have to change the icon, this icon here for this form. You have to change it. I'm changing this to I don't know if you are familiar with MDI. It's also like Font Awesome, but in a different way. But I'm also familiar with it and some of the icon names. So we are going to change this to MDI range. MDI range, and this will be section. So we are going to delete this. We are going to call our Font Awesome class for calendar. That's for section. First for calendar. So the next sub menu is going to be section. We have different section. That's class type section of the school. We have SS, GSS, nursery, depending on how yours, but in my country this is how we operate. We have junior secondary school, senior secondary school, and stuff like that. So the section, first for chalkboard. So this will have another sub menu under it. I'm just going to copy this and paste it under it. The sub menu we have under it is subject, because we also be creating subjects. This one is fast for book. We'll use it as book to be the book icon. Okay, so we have another sub menu. We are going to create all the sub menu we are going to be working with for this menu. The menu is settings menu, so that's why our controller is settings, because we are working on the settings controller first. We have to create a lot of settings for the application, because these are what we'll be using to do some basic operations in the application. Sections for students, section, subjects, and the rest. So now we have class level. This is level SS1A, SS1 and stuff. The level of your section. So and what are we going to give to this? We're going to give it for level up. So we have what else? What sub menu do we have? Let me think. Designation. Designation. For building. Make sure you follow what I'm doing. If you have questions, you can ask me. My details are very open. staff type, staff type. Staff type. Let's use fast compass for staff type. Then copy. Paste. So staff type. Then we have fee type. We have fee type. Lists. We also have fee structure. Fee structure. Fee structure. I think that's all the sub menus we have under this settings menu. Section. So this section now, let's link it. Let's give it a link. So the section. Let's give it a link. So the link for section is going to be at your action. So the action is going to be section. What controller? Inside the settings controller. So this is representing the action, then this is representing the name of the controller. So take note of that. So that's pretty much what we need to do. Let me see what else I'm not working with from buttons. Yeah, I'm not working with this. Okay, I can actually use it later on, but let me just come here. So let's run this and see what we have. So this is settings. So you can see what we have under settings. We have section, subject, level, designation, staff type, fee type, structure. This is section. Why is it not having his icon? It's supposed to have his icon. Sorry, let's go back, and because section doesn't have his icon, it's supposed to have his icon. So let me check and see why section doesn't have his icon. Calendar. Okay, so Okay, let's come back and do this. Still doesn't have this icon. That's strange. Why? Oh, sorry. Spelled the name. I spelled this wrong. Should work now. Okay, so this is it. So you have dashboard, we have settings. We work on our dashboard at 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 the end of our job on the admin panel. For now, let's focus on other operations. So guys, this is where I'll stop this video for today. So please make sure you subscribe, because like I said, I'm going to be dropping a lot of tutorial videos on different projects. So have a nice day. Thank you.